Hi, I'm Jonno from Electric Scooter Shop, and we're here today to talk about the InMotion Air Pro. Now, we are the New Zealand Importer Distributor for InMotion, so full disclosure. However, in reviewing this scooter, I have to tell you, it's one of the most impressive little units that we've come across. It's proving super popular with our customer base, and the reasons for that are it's compact, it's got plenty of zip, it's light, it's affordable, and it's extremely weatherproof as well. It really ticks pretty much all the boxes for a commuter scooter. Now, starting at the front end of the scooter here, we've got an air-filled front tyre. It's a 10-inch tyre. That one does have an inner tube. The rear tyre is solid. It's a dual density polyethylene, solid to you and me. That means, of course, you can't get a puncture in the rear, and the rear is where you always get your punctures on an e-scooter, as you will probably know if you're already a rider. The air-filled front tyre gives you a little bit more suspension, gives you better grip through that front wheel as well. Also on the front wheel, you'll find the drum brake. Now you'll notice from the handlebars we have a single brake lever. Now that single lever activates a drum brake on the front wheel and an electric brake on the rear. So you only have one lever to worry about, and conveniently that's on your left hand and the throttle's on your right hand. So for novice riders, the inexperienced, there's no chance of getting confused between a trigger throttle, a brake on your right hand, a brake on your left hand. Which do you pull first? Which do you pull hardest? All those sort of questions just go out the window. If you need to stop, you pull the lever and it's on your left-hand side. But the folding mechanism for this scooter could not be simpler. Simply press the little red tab, push forward, away you go. You'll notice that the cables are routed internally, so there's no cabling sticking out at all to catch on anything. It's a beautiful design, super simplistic. And to put the neck back up again, straight up, click, that's it, good to go. Now the controls for the scooter are super simple. There's one single button here. Press this button, long hold, beep beep, turns it on. It'll come on in whichever mode you last left it in. You've only got three. Sport is what I was last riding in. Double tap, it will go into walk mode, which just means that the scooter will assist itself to climb a hill if you're pushing it. Double tap again, goes to drive mode. So that's as straightforward as it could possibly be. Single tap will turn on the lights. Very hard to see in the bright sunlight. Does have a headlamp under here, LED light, and in the rear it's got a light for the brake as well. There's our throttle, as I mentioned earlier. It is set up to be a push start, meaning that if you push that throttle now, even though the scooter is on, it won't go anywhere. But there is an app, and through that app you can change that throttle so that it will activate from a standstill. Okay, so let's have a chat about what's going on inside, the hidden bits that you can't see. Now, inside the deck here, you've got a 12 amp hour battery in this model, which is the Air Pro. Now, this scooter comes in two incarnations. You've got the Air Pro, which comes with the orange banding on the wheels. That's how you tell them apart. And it comes in the Air. Now, the Air is the entry-level model, has a 350 watt motor, peaking at 720. The Air Pro has a 400 watt motor, peaking at 750. Doesn't sound like a lot of difference on paper, but in practice, you'll find that the Air Pro is considerably gruntier. Has a top speed of 35, 36 kilometers an hour. The Air, 27, 28. Much longer range because you've got a 12 amp hour battery, whereas the Air's got a 7.4 amp hour battery. And the difference in the voltage in use as that 7.4 amp hour battery fades quite quickly relative to the 12 amp hour battery in this means that you will get a lot of range, a lot more usable range, and a lot more usable performance out of the Air Pro. For that reason, we recommend the Air to our lighter riders and teens, lighter female riders generally, and for those who are have got quite a short commute and it's relatively flat. If there's a bit more hillage involved and the rider's a little bit more full size, let's say, then the Air Pro just gives you that extra bit of grunt, extra bit of get you there, and of course a significantly increased range as well. So bear those two differences in mind when selecting your model. Both will represent excellent value. We do sell a good number more of the Air Pro, I think, and that's just because that extra power and that extra grunt and that extra range just makes that, that price difference a viable proposition for most people, we feel. Now, these are IP55, these scooters, and the internal componentry is sealed to IP67. That's your battery and controller, which lives inside the chassis here. Chassis itself, IP55. Now, that's not waterproof, but it's very water resistant, and we've really found that these do live up to that rating. So, for those of you that are using this as a daily commuter, and you live in fear of getting caught out, then rest assured we've had really good results with these, and we haven't had any weather ingress issues with them at all. They really have lived up to the grading that they've received. So to sum it all up, who's this scooter for? Who should buy it? Look, it's the perfect first scooter, quite honestly. If you've got kids, the Air, the slower, cheaper, lighter version at 15.5 kilos, this is 17, is probably the one to go for. If you're my size, you definitely go with the Air Pro. It's a bit of a no-brainer. It folds super quickly, super easily. Chuck it in the boot of any car, take it on the bus, the train with you. It's the perfect last mile solution. I'd confidently ride it any commute up to around perhaps 5Ks or so. Beyond that, you probably want to start looking at something maybe with a bit of suspension and slightly more performance potentially. But it's got a real world 30k plus range. So if this is your only mode of transport, it could realistically get you pretty much all over town as well. Extremely well made. We're very, very pleased with the quality that's coming through from InMotion. As I said, we are the New Zealand importer distributor. We sell this to a number of other retailers around the country, and if you can't get your hands on one locally, then of course you can order one through our online store. So thanks for watching the video. Come and hit us up with any questions. We love to hear from you. Any experiences you've got yourself with InMotion, please do share, and appreciate your time, and look forward to seeing you in the shop sometime and you can give it a whiz yourself. Thanks for watching.